write every day, but you finished your draft, what do you write now? I've got 3 ideas today. Welcome back for day 97 of our 100-day journey. Whew, we are almost there. Well, if we haven't met before, I'm Dr. Denis'Thomas. I'm a licensed professional counselor and a published author of 10 books, including this one, which is what this channel is all about. I've been walking you through how to draft a book in 100 days, and we are almost done with this 100 video project. Writing 500 words a day is the backbone of this method. I encourage you to spend about 30 minutes each day writing 500 words and doing that every day, even if you are not writing in your manuscript. And once you finish your draft, you're not writing in your manuscript. I don't encourage you to immediately start your next manuscript. I think that can actually be counterproductive because you need a break. You need a rest from your manuscript. You need a rest from the intensity of plodding ahead to the finish line, and you need a pause to celebrate finishing the draft. In fact, I argue that taking that pause actually enhances your writing. But I don't encourage you to stop writing. So that's what this video is all about. I've got 3 ways to continue writing even though you're no longer working on your draft. So what you write, of course, is completely up to you. Now, if you only want to write one book, that is the project, then you can just barrel ahead and rest when you are finished. That's completely up to you. In fact, all of it's completely up to you. You could do whatever you like. But for the rest of us who want to continue writing and probably want to write more books, it's going to be helpful to take a pause. And in that pause, I suggest, number 1, that you write something very different from what you just finished. This kind of tantalizes your creative juices. This gives you new energy for something different, and it stretches your skills a little bit. So in this pause between finishing the draft and moving into editing it, write something really different. Last week's videos all talked about different kinds of writing. So you could apply the right method and write blog posts or podcast scripts or children's books or short stories or poetry or any other kind of content that you can write in short form. So you don't want another big project, but you might test your wings on smaller projects that can be written in 500 words or so. So that could be either a 500-word project, and that's the completed short form, or you might try a project that's 2,500 to 5,000 words, and you can write that in a week or 2. But the point is that it is short and you can do it easily in this break. In fact, you might even try multiple types of different projects because this is your break. This is your chance to have fun, try new things, to explore, to just do things without any sort of pressure to get it published if you don't want that pressure. Idea number 2 is to use this time to work on a specific writing skill. So I've mentioned before that I want to work on metaphors, and I've generated a list of 2 different things and putting those together using metaphor to describe them as an exercise that I am doing in my journal right now. But maybe the skill you want to learn is to write faster. And so you may use your time to bust out 500 words as fast as you can. You might even look at it as this week has 7 trials. You have 7 opportunities to beat your personal best. And that may be a way to train yourself to type much faster. Maybe you want to work on environmental descriptions. Pick a random environment and start describing it in your journal. Whatever skills you want to work on, this is your opportunity to do that. Maybe you want to take a course or read a book on that skill to enhance that, but in your writing time, you want to actually be working on it. And idea number 3 is always one of my favorites when I need to change up the pace or I just need kind of a pressure release from the intensity of writing when I've been working really hard on a project. And that is simply to free write. Write without paying attention to grammar, without worrying too much about what's being written. The point is to keep your fingers typing. Whatever flows out of your fingers, that's what you want to be just free writing in your journal. Sometimes these kinds of exercises start with a lot of garbage and it feels really dumb and awkward, but as you get into it, things come out that you weren't anticipating. Sometimes ideas that go in books come out from free writing. So this can be a really beneficial exercise. I like it just because it's fun and free-flowing. If I get benefits from it, I just consider that the cherry on top. I usually do, but that's just the bonus. The reason I'm doing it is just to keep writing, to keep that placeholder habit in between my draft and editing or the next manuscript that I work on. I want to keep writing every day, or at least most days. I find this is really helpful to me because it balances structured work with very unstructured, free-flowing work. And I need to be balanced in that because I tend to lean one way or the other. And so this helps to balance me out a little bit. I also like the freedom of I just pick what I want to write for the day. So I don't have to write the next section or the next chapter that's already been outlined for me. I instead just get to write about the topic of my choice, and it gets to be spontaneous. I'm not always good at spontaneity, so this is a good drill for me too. So one day might be a list of things to do. The next day might be a prayer. The next day might be a reflection on a book that I am reading. And the next day might just be some thoughts that I am having. Doesn't really matter. It's free writing, so it can be whatever it is that you need it to be. Well, if you have made it this far into the series, the last thing that you want to do is undo all that work creating a writing habit. So writing in between manuscripts is a great way to maintain that habit and also to have some fun and maybe work on some skills. This is how you become a prolific writer. Now, it may be that you need a break from writing too. As an academic at the end of the semester, I'm often pretty tired and depleted and ready to just pause. That's often also a time that I have wrapped up a manuscript. And so this may be a really good time to take a break from your writing, but do it with intention. If you decide you're going to take a week off of writing, then decide to do that. Take the week off. Don't feel any shame or guilt or doubt your decision. You just take a week off. And then when you come back, start writing again. We do that for lots of habits. When you go on vacation, you may be lighter on your exercise schedule, or you may not do your bedtime routine in the same way. That's perfectly fine. Just do it with intention. The last thing you want to do is slip into not writing because you haven't been intentional. So it doesn't really matter what you write in between the draft and the next manuscript. It just matters that you keep writing. In fact, I think it's really healthy for your writing to have some unstructured or really different types of writing. I think that feeds and that nourishes the writer within and gives you that renewed energy that you're going to need when you come back and edit that manuscript. So enjoy this rest in between writing projects. I wonder what you are going to write as you rest from your book draft.